We branded it as the slimmest tablet in the world.
You were interested in finance, but now your entire career is on tech.
In one of the companies, technology was an important part. And that time, computers were just coming into India, and we had entered into the business of distributing our own branded computers. Technology was kind of just in that time entering into.
How did you decide to enter to Dubai market?
In around 2000, 2001, I moved to Dubai. In Dubai, understanding how it is as a market, how it is, etc. Still nothing had happened. On the second last day, all God's grace, I got a call from Samsung. Dubai taught us a lot in terms of how to be the first to be the best. We branded it as the slimmest tablet in the world. NBC carried a research and it was shown versus some of the, and it was really a slim product.
Hello viewers, thank you for joining in today. And if you think distribution is the key to success for your business, today I bring to you a very, very powerful personality who has not only created a successful brand in MENA region, but sold off too. So he's done successful exit from the brand too. But that brand was selling in 2000 plus retail stores across MENA. You know, it's a big thing, 2000 stores. Today he is at the strategic role to the company called Django, and he is heading their smart device business for entire MENA region. So thank you, Swithin, for joining in. And I'm very happy that you could get time out to share your knowledge and wisdom with all of our viewers.
Thank you, Dr. Kailash. Pleasure being here with you and part of your esteemed group. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and I was very excited to call you here because I know a lot of companies have wonderful products and they also do wonderful marketing. But in certain businesses, distribution becomes a key to success of a business. Because let's say if I know about the product and if it is not available to my favorite retail store, then I will buy something else because it's available, because availability is a big issue. And it's a tricky way to get into the distribution. So we're going to talk a lot about it.
Sure.
But I want to start your journey. So by education, what was your education and where did you start your journey? And where was your education done?
Great. So interesting story also. So it's good that you brought it up. I was born and brought up in Bombay, in Mumbai. Did my 10th standard in St. Mary's ICSE. Then moved to Bangalore because my father was part of an Indian multinational, and he moved with the company to Bangalore. And I finished my education as in my BCom at St. Joseph's Commerce College. There starts my story. So I was, of course, very popular in college, was part of the leadership team in certain in elections, etc. Made a number of friends across. And after we finished college, the first day, we just finished our commerce and we were looking out what we were going to do in life, what's going to happen. A friend of mine calls me and he had just gotten to a company called Arthur Andersen in Bangalore. And at that time, I was interested. I was always passionate about finance. So he said, Swithin, there's a great opportunity in Arthur Andersen, which is like one of the largest top 5 big boys, in fact, like McKinsey, Arthur Andersen, Deloitte and Touche, Pricewaterhouse. So he called me and I went across to meet the management, and there was an interview. And the interview happened to be an alumni of my college.
Wow.
So we had a quick conversation. It was a matter of, I think, probably 4 or 5 minutes because we were fresh out of college. And he asked me, if you get this job, will you buy me a drink? I said, let's go now, let's move. And he was so impressed with the confidence, right? And he said later on, in casual conversation, he told me, I still remember his words. He said, it was like the sun was shining out of your ass. That's what I found so impressive. And then, from there it goes ahead. So confidence, that was something which was really, really important. And I keep telling all my team members, confidence is something which has to come out whenever you are there with any point of time, with customers, with suppliers, always.
I think somehow you also put in a lot of efforts because you in the college also you played a lot of roles at the leadership.
True.
And you may have balanced the study with the other roles, which is also part of life, which is important.
Very true. So, parents have always inculcated in us the need for extracurricular activities. So, debating, various intercollegiate festivals, sports. I was an avid tennis player, football player as well. Cricket, of course, runs in our Indian blood. So we are always playing cricket all the time, right? So it's always been part of all-rounded personality.
So
which
this is
we
one
call.
learning for all the kids who are listening to us or young generation listening to us. Balance out your activities. Now today people are busy in too much in mobiles, but they should play some games and take participation in college activities, debates, because it develops your confidence as a human, as a person, and confidence is like charisma.
True.
It starts reflecting. But one interesting question I am thinking: you were interested in finance, so
Right.
you took commerce.
Right.
You were interested in finance. You went to Arthur Anderson.
Right.
But now your entire career is on tech.
Completely
So
different.
how does
Absolutely.
finance to a tech? And I know finance is a very important thing because if you know finance, then your mind of business and your mind of profitability comes in. But what was the turning point where you ventured into tech?
During the course of my, I realized that in finance and in Arthur Anderson, of course, it was an amazing experience to be, with a multinational at a very young age. The whole culture in India at that time was, 9 to 5 job. People would wear suits, etc. Here, the culture was you come in casually dressed. Saturdays, come in Bermudas and t-shirts and relaxed atmosphere. Go for a beer in the evening, come back after that. So extremely different. And but I realized at one point of time in my whilst doing my chartered accountancy that I wanted to get into management and get into entrepreneurial discussions, more of entrepreneurial elements in business, and that's where I felt my passion was, because as part of the assignments that I was doing, I was really interested in seeing how different tech companies, etc. We were doing research studies, we were doing consulting to them. So that piqued my interest, and I thought to myself that I need to do my management. So
Then you went into
then I
MBA.
moved in. Yeah, so I moved to Bombay, and I worked with my uncle, who is a successful industrialist, group of companies, in fact. And for me, that moment was like a Rich Dad Poor Dad kind of a moment for the story, which is that book is something which I always propagate, and I'm always giving it to people to read, especially youngsters, etc. I think that's really one of the must reads in today's day and age, right?
Even my life was changed because of that book.
I can imagine.
When I read my book, I left my job and started my business.
Wow. Okay.
So, and I'm very happy that I happened to meet Robert Kiyosaki.
Fantastic.
I took a author signed. I have an author signed copy because that book shifted my career. But it's a different thing. But let's focus on that. Everyone should read that book. That's what we mean. Both mean that you should read that book too.
It's essential, I think. Really essential. So for me, as I was saying, it was like a Rich Dad Poor Dad, a phase in my life, because I was born into a middle class family. My father is ex-army, proudly part of the army, and then he went into a corporate career, which he did really well in. But when I was in Bombay and spent time with my uncle very closely in his different businesses, I learned a lot. And one of the first books he gave me was Rich Dad Poor Dad, because it changes your whole. I think the whole paradigm shift in terms of my thinking, in terms of how I approached issues, and was completely, I would honestly attribute to him. And the learning that I got in terms of how an entrepreneur thinks, what are the decisions, how you take decisions, how you run, how you run multiple businesses, how you enter into businesses, the ability to bring on talent in terms of consultants before taking a decision in terms of entering into a business or entering into particular projects or whatever. That learning, I think, has taken me through life even till now. And even the investment journey, how you think of investments. Investments is now a passion to me. So right from that time till today, investing in real estate, land, stocks and shares, crypto, for example, whatever. The basic tenets are always the same. It doesn't change too much, right?
Laws are same.
It's always the same. So I think that was a turning point in my life. And in one of the companies, technology was an important part. And that time, in those days, computers were just coming into India at that time. And we had entered into the business of distributing our own branded computers, etc.
So this is the uncle's brand.
My uncle's brand, very much at that time. So technology was kind of just in that time entering into me, and I understood that this is where I need to be in future.
And what year we are talking about?
We're
Approximately.
talking about 1998, 99.
Wonderful. So I will salute your uncle
Right.
because we know Y2K,
Right.
which everyone got scared.
Right.
And that time your uncle thought of coming in the tech business with the brand.
Absolutely.
And that I personally, because I know you personally now, that's the biggest learning I would say you had in your life, because your life was shifted later on the
Completely.
same principle what you learned there.
Right.
And tech was also introduced by him.
Very much. Very much.
So you also handle the distribution for that business.
Distribution and really at grassroots levels, understanding what are components, creating a business case, so as to speak, or what is the profitability, how would it work, what are the costs, what are the distribution, what is the marketing elements to it in those days, right? That gave me a lot of insight into how I need to even plan my life and how I need to move ahead in life.
Wow. And then, so this is going in. Then, how did you decide to enter to Dubai market, and
So
why Dubai would be another question.
Sure. I've always had the dream of going overseas and experiencing life abroad. So in around 2000, 2001, I moved to Dubai and spent time in Dubai, understanding how it is as a market, how it is, etc. Meeting various people. Again, very fortunate, God's grace. An aunt and uncle of mine were based here in Dubai for the past 10 years prior to that. And so it was much easier way of understanding how to get into the market. And I spent 3 months meeting with people, discussing, understanding what are the opportunities. 3 months the visa ended. We extended for another, I think, a month or two, etc. Still nothing had happened. Believe me.
And you were giving interviews,
Absolutely, meeting with
people, recruiters,
interviews
and HR.
regularly, being very active, and on the second last day, all God's grace, I got a call from Samsung.
Wow, directly Samsung.
Directly from Samsung,
Wonderful.
absolutely.
So God was saying, wait, I'm cooking
I'll
something
give you the
important
right,
for you.
something right for you.
Yeah.
And when you have the Samsung brand with you, but it's like it says it all. So when I came to Dubai, of course, it was everybody would ask, what is your GCC or Dubai UAE experience, which I didn't have any of course. So, right. So started off almost not at the bottom end, but at a mid level again, all over again. But it was brilliant. I mean, my stint at Samsung, I still remember, was amazing. Did a couple of trips to Korea. Samsung was in the inception stage of setting up their business as such in the region.
And
having subsidiaries.
Smart devices, mobiles.
Again, very
Majorly
much.
mobiles, yeah.
So in the initial stages of mobiles, TFT monitors in those days, accessory businesses, then you had the CE and HA business as well. So
C and HA is?
Consumer electronics and the home appliances.
Appliances,
Samsung had four verticals in those days.
And you were in which vertical?
So I was in the Middle East Africa headquarters, MEHQ.
Okay, so then you had to handle for all.
In the marketing division, yeah.
Yeah, because marketing.
Right. So it gave me a wide spectrum of discussions and meetings, meeting distributors, meeting retailers, spending time in the market. And the good part is we were part of MEHQ, that's Middle East Africa headquarters, and we had access to the head of the MEHQ region. And some of the interesting insights that I learned, which I can still say very important, is that from the market starts your problems, but your solutions also are in the market. So when we would go to other countries, and I've seen this happening in front of my eyes, the head of the region, the president, the first thing he would do when he entered Dubai or entered any of the markets, he would not go to the offices. He would take a car and go to the retail, go to the independent retail, meet to see what's happening live in the market. So when he had discussions, of course, with the distributors later or with the partners, he was able to talk with a commanding sense of what is happening in the market. Because each market, even if it's a small market or a large market.
So it goes to the core.
To the core.
Where the business is actually happening.
Exactly. So that was a learning which I hold till today. I still today, in all businesses that I've been through, one day is a market visit day.
Still.
Absolutely. I will go with a chai, go spend time, see what the consumers are saying, understand what the customers are saying, what are the retail store people saying. Because from there, you can get a lot of insights about your product, how to improve the product, what are customers saying, what are the pain points. I think the whole solution comes from there.
Yeah. I think businesses are built there.
Absolutely.
It never built in four walls
Yes.
in the office. Yeah.
Yes.
So now looking at that experience, and I know you work in North Africa, Middle East, Gulf, GCC. Just for an insight, how do you differentiate or segment this market? I know just Saudi Arabia is very different than India. Then
Right.
Egypt is a different market. How do you see this segmentation point of view, the different countries here in GCC or
Fair
North Africa?
question. Yeah. So actually, we are in a very unique set of markets, right? The GCC markets, you have, if I'm not mistaken, in the UAE, for example, there is a local population of less than 10%.
Yeah.
So out of
90%
10.5
expats,
million, you have 9.9 million expats, right?
Correct.
Across the various demographic segments. Similar thing happens in Qatar as well. Kuwait to some extent. Oman, it's about 40, 60. And Saudi, of course, is much more. It's a local
Much more,
population and a little bit of an expat population as well. But you have at least a good 30 million expats living in this region from different parts of the world. And of course, the local inherent populations here. So to address those populations, of course, localization plays a
Major
role in.
may not be in UAE too much because
Yeah.
UAE is 90% expats.
Right.
But if you're looking for any other market in GCC, then
Absolutely.
localization would be a very important
Very, very
factor.
important. Yeah.
And then if you talk about northern Africa side, Egypt and all, then that's pure
That's
Arabic.
a pure,
That's pure
Arabic market. Yeah. North Africa, of course, is more of Arabic and French, and of course, a little bit of English as well.
So that's how the segmentation happened. So your Samsung journey happened, and then you work with a couple of other brands. Would like to share a little
Yeah,
bit?
sure, certainly. So Samsung was, I think, the stepping stone for me in terms of the Middle East journey as such. And after that, I joined from Samsung. I moved to one of the largest distributors in the region for IT, where I handled the marketing portfolio as well as I had some product specific roles in terms of Samsung plasmas, Samsung printers, laser printers, which were just coming in at that time. So that was, and there I cut my teeth really into distribution, hardcore distribution.
Because Samsung was more marketing.
Marketing, more of
Understanding,
marketing,
problem
understanding
solving,
at a
branding,
headquarter level.
things.
But
This brand gave you penetration to the road.
distribution.
To distribution.
Absolutely right.
Yeah.
So independent retail across the region, customers and wholesalers again across the region, partners, and retailers. Retailers was a big chunk at that time. And that time you could see the shift in I'm talking about the early 2004, 2005. You could see the shift from independent retail wholesale to pure power retail. You could see that shift was happening very subtly, but it was happening. It was a very clear trend.
So power retail means what?
So power retail would in those days would be places like plugins, Virgin,
Giant brands which will control the
retailers
market.
as such.
Giant
Yeah.
retailers.
You could see that
Coming
shift
in.
was taking place very clearly.
Not the giant brand, but giant is the English word you're saying.
Yes.
Because giant is also a brand here.
It's the brand itself. Yes, true.
And then this distribution journey was for a long journey for you.
Extremely long journey, very much. So I was always in that business as such. I joined another multinational which was based here, and was that I spent almost 10 years of my career there with them. And there I got to start off their IT division. So I set up the IT division right from scratch. It was more of distribution, trading in IT products. So we would bring products in from all parts of the world to UAE at prices, and then at a much better prices, and then distribute it across the region.
These were different principles which were giving you
Completely.
Anytime you handled a new product which was not known in the market, because selling a brand like HP or Dell or Samsung sometimes is a different ball game.
Right.
But a new brand which is just coming up, have you ever handled? I know you handled your own brand, but other than that,
So
anything else?
this is where again the learning comes, and this is how I would again go back to my early days of learning what business is all about and how it works. So during the time when we were doing IT business, the sustainability of margins was not happening. It was very clear. Margins were becoming thin. And the chairman of the company called in a very large consultant, an extremely well-known consultant, I should say. He was like the poster boy of Indian electronics, a gentleman by the name of Rajiv Karwal. I think you may have heard of him. Brilliant gentleman, and really hats off to him. In those days, it was the early 2010, 2009, 2010. He brought with him a tablet, right? And that really piqued my interest. I said, this is something of interest, and this looks, and thank God, I should say, I always have a knack of picking up trends. I could make out that this was going to become a trend. It was a game changer. So I sat with him, my chairman, and I said, I want to launch this in our own brand in the region.
Wow.
So I took 6 months' time. I spent time across the markets, the GCC region, spent time. I went to China. I sat there for almost a couple of months.
So from product design to the penetration strategy to everything.
Complete. So the good part is this group, the group had regional headquarters was based in UAE, but other regional subsidiaries in different countries, main markets like Saudi, Kenya, Kuwait in those days, Oman, Bahrain, and we had a China office. So we had the necessary infrastructure in terms of management based in China, Indian management and Chinese staff as well. So I spent time actually with factories, understanding the technology, understanding how it would bring, and we launched the product in a matter of 6 months' time. The product was here already.
Wow.
In a matter of, just to give you an idea, the margins in those days were over 100%. Because there was Apple.
In the tablet business?
In the tablet business.
Wow.
There was Apple, Samsung and us. So in GfK reports, in the first year, we were number 3. Lenovo came after us.
Wow.
In those days, I'm talking about...
early days.
Early days.
Yeah.
And we were able to...
But an interesting question. Now, this new brand which you launched, this company was a big company, but consumer would never know this brand.
At all.
Because this company was selling other principal brands.
Yeah.
So consumer level, there's a zero penetration at the brand value.
Absolutely.
So can you share some brand secrets?
Sure.
How did you, when you're fighting with someone like, Samsung and someone like an Apple, and you are a very, baby in the market and consumer doesn't even know about you, why would they still buy your product and service? Yeah, I know little price margin, but price is not the only reason people will buy it. So how did you play the game of branding and marketing?
So here comes back to product development and product design. We were able to get some interesting products in China, very slim products. And those were, we branded it as the slimmest tablet in the world. And MBC carried a research. Somebody picked it up in MBC and it was shown versus some of the, and it was really a slim product, much slimmer than the rest. So few of these very unique products we brought in. Yeah, we brought in a pink colored product, which at that time we called it the world's first ladies tab.
Wow. So you differentiated?
We differentiated across because we knew this was a segment which is going to grow. Right. So we wanted to...
Like Dubai does, the tallest building, the largest. So they just found a way to, on certain parameters, they show that how they're best in the world and that marketing would pick up faster and things would happen. So it's a learning for our listeners that whatever product they do, they need to do some competition research and find out on certain areas how they can be better than a competition that could be a very big player too. And if they play on their strengths, it can easily help them, go wide like a wildfire in the market.
Right.
And the price point would always be...
Price points are definitely going to be sweet price points.
Sweet price points,
bound to be. But one thing I always maintain in businesses, we should always have a very healthy margin. Make sure that all stakeholders are kind of happy. In the whole equation.
And how did you take care of the post-sale support? Because in smart devices, tech business, the post-sale support is also very... Essential part.
So the first thing we did, and I'm glad you brought this up because it slipped my mind, is we brought in a team from China who were based here. They trained our engineers. Our engineers went to other electronic and other business as well. But they trained our engineers. They were here with us for almost 6 months. We had ample amount of spares and after spares supplies here itself. And the most important part of this business was the software. So apps keep coming in. So how to make sure that the apps are relevant to the consumer here. That correlation happened because we had a team sitting out here.
Did you also bought in some Arabic part localization? Because I know now you work a lot on Arabic, which we're going to come soon.
True.
But at that time also, anything Arabization was done in the
Very
apps.
much, very
Oh,
much.
in 2009
In those
also.
days, also the initial trickle of apps were happening, and we started putting it up. And we started, as you rightly said, Dubai taught us a lot in terms of how to be the first to be the best. I mean, and salute to the establishment always of always trying to make sure that the country is at the forefront of technology of any kind of situation. And I've seen it, Dr. Kailash, for the past 20 years. Whenever something is said by the establishment, it's done. It's done in advance. It's never done after that. It's done in advance.
And the faith and trust is so high. I mean, diverting from the topic, but it's such an important thing because we're living in Dubai. So the faith of the entire world is so high today in the establishment and the government here that they know that if they are saying, it will happen.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So
I think the landmark deals which were just signed in terms of technology, which happened just last month for data centers, for AI. I mean, this is where the future is, and the government is very clear that they want to be in it.
One funny part, which I always share with my friends everywhere other than Dubai, is if anything bad happens across world, the first country which get benefited is Dubai. So it's recently, I know if someone is looking this podcast very late, but recently we had a Trump raising the entries and duties and all. But the again biggest benefit is happening to Dubai because all Indian companies who want to supply, they'll use Dubai route to lower down the duties. So Trump does whatever, India does whatever, Dubai grows.
True.
But we are diverting from the topic. So let's come back to our Arabization part. Yeah. I also want to know, I think this was the device which was present in 2,000 plus retail stores across, or this was a different
This was much earlier than that, but we had a very strong distribution network at that time itself. So we had in-country distribution in almost all GCC countries, especially in Saudi. And UAE being the window market to the Middle East, we always made sure that the best retailers, the most popular, part of the promotions, we were always part of it, right? In DSF, you name it, we were always part of it.
So now for the educating the listeners, in this world, this part of the world, UAE today, what are the top retailers people should consider for tech business and putting their, smart devices in, if anyone want to penetrate? The big giants to the maybe top 7-8 brands, which covers the maybe 80% of the market share.
Right.
7-8 would cover.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I'm not expert, but I personally feel Carrefour is the biggest. But before our podcast, you were saying no, Lulu is the biggest one.
I would think,
or maybe there's neck to neck.
Similar neck to neck
competition is happening.
The electronic business.
It's a
large business by itself.
So what are a couple of big names you will say? So Carrefour, Lulu for sure. Two.
Yeah. For example, I'll give you a quick back of the envelope calculation. You have 30%, 25 to 30% is online retail, right?
Wonderful. So 30 versus 70. Offline is still 70%?
Absolutely, still.
Wow.
60 to 70% is still very much offline.
Wow.
You have independent retail, which would be the IR, the mom and pop stores spread around about 2,000 plus stores across the UAE itself, which would constitute for about 30-35%. And then you have the power retail. Power retail, when I say the retail, the brands, like you have Carrefour, you have Lulu, you have Virgin, Sharaf TG,
Nesto,
Nesto as well,
Jumbo,
very much.
Emax,
ECT. So these are the key names as such which are
so
there.
The bifurcation is like 30% is online, about 30-35%. 30-35% is happening by the mom and pop small stores.
Yeah.
Around 30-35% is happening only by the giants, big stores of UAE.
Right.
If we talk about the online store, what are the main platforms which gain the maximum business? Two or three?
Main platforms I would say are undoubtedly Amazon and Noon.
Amazon and Noon.
Yeah, they're really pushing the boundaries in terms of
Noon
what's
being
happening.
very new, are they able to fight well with Amazon?
Absolutely. They're coming up they're doing a really amazing job.
Because last mile delivery is the reason, because Amazon has a next day delivery sometime and Noon does maybe 2 hours. And
it's changed. I mean, now you have 45-minute and 15-minute delivery as well. So quick commerce out here is here to stay. I mean, now people are getting used to it also.
But Amazon doesn't do it.
Amazon also
does it
they
now.
Also have it now.
Because they have to fight with the competition.
Very much. Carrefour has a 1 hour delivery online. So that itself is a big big draw for the consumer.
And so this is a segment. So Noon, Amazon, and then top 5 to 7 brands, and then mom and pop stores.
Right.
So if let's say new brand is coming up, how should they strategize? Because I know getting into this big store would be a challenge.
True.
Because of they have some vendor registration fees and a lot of things happen. So easiest would be get yourself listed to Noon and Amazon first.
Right.
And then how do you maybe a year? How do they plan the strategy?
Strategically, I think it depends on the product and the profile, right? Based on the target segments of which kind of stores your customer would actually walk into. But investing, I think, in like a Virgin or a Sharaf DG or a Emax, for example, in electronic retail, in pure electronic retail, that would be one.
That will be first step before you get into Carrefour, Lulu, and Nesto, because they are like very big. They may also look at the consumer pull. And because of Amazon, Noon, your marketing, and from these stores, the pull has been started.
Right.
And then they will be happy
automatically you will have opportunities there. But I think across the board, and especially in this region, it's about relationships. And the network and the relationships that you have built over the years to get your product, because the buyer and the buying team also should be confident that the product that you bring to them, that we work together, it's a partnership in the end of the day. It's a business,
it's a partnership.
Yeah, they should also benefit significantly in terms of for the stores as well as their consumers. So I think that is something which is key.
And I would also, because I learned from you now, I'll take them, go one step back. Before even you launch on Noon and Amazon and wherever, go and meet the retailer, go to the market, maybe do a 1 month research and survey. Maybe your product is not there, but at least competition is there. Just try and understand how consumers are behaving. And then you may decide your strategy, how do you want to get into the market.
Very true. That is imperative. Market research, spend time in the market, absolutely. Meet up with distributors, meet up with retailers, meet up with the buying teams, understand what their segments are, what's happening in their particular segments of the market, and then only take a conscious decision whether to enter and to which retailers to enter as well.
Because in the store also there is a competition.
Absolutely.
Because the large stores, they may have given you one place in the rack. That doesn't guarantee the sale. It's just a display.
Yeah.
You still have to put in effort. Just being in Carrefour or Lulu doesn't mean you're going to bring a sales.
True. Very true.
So there are other dynamics comes into picture.
Too many dynamics in retail. And retail is detail. It's all about that. So there are so many small areas, but those small areas would make a significant difference in terms of...
Can you give a little example on this if possible?
Yeah, absolutely. So even when you go into a retail store, it is about where you place your products, right? So it's imperative that you make sure that your products are at eye level basics. I mean, you make sure that depending on the brand, which other brand would you like to be next to build more credibility, for example. So if I'm next to an Apple or Samsung, in the consumer's mind, he always sees that, this is a brand which is,
and anyhow, Apple is going to bring certain kind of customers.
Absolutely.
And if looking at the Apple, they'll look at the nearby product too.
Right.
So,
right.
I remember in Carrefour, Apple, wherever Apple is, Huawei is always next to Apple most of the time.
Close by, yes.
Maybe Huawei strategy. Now I'm thinking it's a Huawei strategy.
Possible. Very possible.
I end up looking at Apple Watch, they show me Huawei Watch. I end up looking at AirPods, they show at me Huawei AirPods free pen.
True.
So maybe this is a strategy which I learned now that this is a played detailed.
Yeah. And then through relationships, of course, it's very important to make sure that you're part of the retailer's marketing activities, because that builds credibility for the brand. It builds credibility in the eyes of the consumers as well. And they feel that, they have a very they have a comfort coming in purchasing a product, even if it's a brand which has come into the region for the first time.
It's like collaborative marketing effort between retailer and you together. Yeah. And that could be in store with the sales team.
Yeah.
You may also have to give additional incentives to the sales team from
them.
Other than
Carrefour. That's most important.
Part of and because, there should be a motivation for sales guy to say, why Huawei, why not Apple? I'm just giving the same example.
Yeah, true.
So that is also important.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of
multiple strategies.
And that is why you said the margins are very important, because there are a lot of players in between who are going to get a share in the value chain, who are going to share.
Yes.
And I think after sharing with everyone, you still should
You
have a
should
good
have
piece.
a very comfortable part of the margin. I think for the stakeholders, that's really
Whatever, I
important.
think this last piece of last 10 minutes would be enlightening for a lot of people who planning to decide the strategy. But I want to move toward your entrepreneur journey. So you were working well, you're senior
Things were
level
going great,
management,
right?
and then suddenly you start.
So,
I want to start a brand. So
true.
where do you get this the turning point in your life?
I think what happened is it's again about trends. So I could see very clearly that the trend was from the tablets, the trend was going into mobile phones and mobile devices, smartphones. So in that period of time, there was a Chinese entrepreneur who had come to UAE who had the ambition to set up a brand and run it in the region. So me and another colleague of mine, we met with him, discussed with him, and we joined with him for that venture. In a matter of 1 year, we were awarded the fastest growing brand in retail reach by one of the largest media houses in the UAE.
Again, that was started from the scratch.
From scratch. I mean, products came in from China. There was a factory, manufacturing factory. So the factory manufactured for other brands as well.
It was relabeled for the purpose of this new brand. And
New brand to get it into the country and to sell.
products were like mobile phones.
Mobile phones, primarily mobile phones, and tablets came in a little later because we realized that they were.
And this is which year we are talking?
We're talking about 2015, 2016, 2014, around that.
14, 15, yeah.
Yeah. So almost 2 to 3 years.
But now I know by the time you are experienced because you've done this couple of times.
Completely. This was kind of part of the.
But did you find any challenge in the mindset or from the family side or any other side? Because, when you're in a job, I always say that the most addictive thing in the world is not Afeem, not charas, not cigarette, not alcohol. It's a salary every month.
Very true.
So, and when you shift from this to an entrepreneur journey, it's a different ball game altogether.
It is.
So, what challenges did you face? Because I know a lot of people listening, they've been thinking, I need to start, but they keep thinking they are not able to take action.
Right.
So, do you have to talk on that angle?
Sure. So, point one, confidence, because in the whole value chain and in the whole, right through the value chain, right from supply chain, right to the network that we have, the relationships were in place, very much in place. So before starting our own brand, me and a colleague, we sat in a coffee shop and we were there for a couple of days, understanding, analyzing how things would go. And one of our very large customers based in the year was also interested in starting up something at that point of time. And he gave us, he was one of the insights came from him. He says, let's do something together in this region because you guys already are part of this. And this discussion was going with my co-founder and myself for some time. So in terms of the supply part of it, we knew the whole game in China. In terms of the network out here, we had the whole network with us. They were very close friends who we have grown up through our journey in the region as such. So it was an informed decision. There was risk, of course. There was uncertainty. But we could see the margin structures. We could see how it would work out.
So a lot of visibility, clarity was there.
Clarity was there.
Because
of domain expertise.
No, I want to go back to the starting of our podcast.
Right.
Where you said, confidence is very important. The way you played your schooling and education because of parent, it made you very confident the way you, went for your first interview.
Right.
But with the domain expertise of so many years of work or hard work and smart work, made you a very confident professional too. And because of that confidence, you could easily take that leap towards the entrepreneurship.
I think that's I think 50% is absolutely what you've said. And coming back to it more from a religious point of view, I think centering yourself in God, being able to, faith is, I think, the key beyond everything else, honestly. Yeah. That is what is, it's my faith that, God has led me to certain opportunities.
Wow.
In no uncertain terms, I can say it, and it's very clear. It's very evident in my life. Tough times of, abundance as such, has all come because of
faith. We always say faith can move mountains. why can't faith move a company to make it profitable? It's simple. So wonderful. So I'm very, very happy that you also touch upon the faith and the universal powers, because I personally also believe that, however, because I see a lot of people putting effort, hard work, but for some it works, for some it not. Somewhere people have a lot of faith in God that life moves very fast.
True. Very true.
Now, let's move to now. I know you work with Django smart devices now. So can you tell, what is Django smart device and what are you doing now?
Sure.
Because I know you work a lot in AI space, and I also want to see, in some time I want to ask you the future of AI and our world too. But what are your roles, responsibilities, work, challenges in Django smart devices, and what is all about?
Sure. So after I, successfully exited our entrepreneurial journey, I should say, into 2024, I realized and I could smell the trend of AI. I could see that it's coming in a very big way. And we need to embrace it. I've told my kids as well, and I tell anyone who I meet. And I'm very keen that people in the world understand that AI is going to be, it's already happening. It's happening in front of us as we speak, right? Yesterday, ChatGPT 5 was
released, yes.
So it is how we need to use AI for our betterment and for the betterment of the businesses that we run and we work in. So for me, it was very clear that AI was the space to be in, and the Django opportunity came in through a mutual friend. And at the same time, they wanted to set up their operations in the smart device business in the MENA region. Interestingly, in Django, we have built the LLM of Arabic from scratch.
LLM is
the large language model.
Language model.
Right from scratch. So we had...
and for Arabic?
For Arabic specifically.
Wow.
So it's not a translate. It's a bilingual AI smart speaker with a very human-like core.
So again, you went differentiator.
Completely different.
Yeah, always you have picked up certain differentiator. This time with Django, it was a pure Arabization, or rather not Arabization. It's a pure Arabic driven.
Arabic.
Content.
It's a bilingual. It's Arabic English product with smart translation facilities. It took us 2 years and hundreds of linguists, professors working on the language to build it to right from scratch. So that itself was a brilliant learning experience. Now we can see the use cases exploding as we have launched the product. So we've launched in the UAE first, because UAE, I always say, is the window to the Middle East and GCC markets. So the plan, of course, going forward is to bring in dialects. So we already have an Egyptian dialect which has come up, and we'll be launching in Egypt, which is a large market. And wrapped around the AI smart speaker is a Django Play, which is a entertainment app. It's a super app with millions of hours of music and of video content, games as well. So with unique features like Smart Vibe, my Smart Vibe, etc., which is you can play your own music and
wonderful.
Yeah.
So I'm very happy, because when I do a lot of study on the future, what I know today, there are two things going to work: is a localization of the content. I won't be happy talking in my own language because I need personalization, personal touch. And second is entertainment sells today a lot. Like, we see Instagram, Shorts, TikToks, and that's basically about entertainment. So anything which is entertaining, the engagement goes longer. So you always crack the right code somehow, and maybe God, right people come into your life and right times and things happen.
Absolutely. And the trend. So
and
I can
trends,
see
you look at the trends.
The trend is very clear, and the next, I think, as we see what's happening, also the signatures which happened recently between UAE and the US for top tech coming in here, setting up various infrastructure for AI.
Yes.
I think we are in the right space.
And what's the plan after UAE for these smart devices to go? So Egypt is already launched?
So Egypt we'll be launching very soon. That's the next plan. But the other GCC markets, and then in time to come, even the North African markets as well.
And what could be the use cases for, like, one is entertainment app, which comes as a wrapper. And then communication, dialects, talking to, typical Arabic content. And what other thing you can think would be the
use cases? See use cases have been exploding tremendously around this space. And as we have launched the product, our social media team, PR team are very active in promoting the product, etc. We keep getting inquiries, so we keep knowing. So we've entered into key retailers, and we keep entering into retail. Yeah, that's ongoing process to build the credibility, build the brand in the retail segments. Um, the business to business segments that we can see, I think, would be more of education in terms of for because it's the device is going to be the center is the center of the smart home, we say, and center of the home because of the humanesque approach to the product. We can see that it's not the parents would want their own device and the kids would want another device. We've got small features like a whisper mode, so you can go and whisper to her and she will whisper back to you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, absolutely.
Responds the way you ask the question.
Smart home integration, so that becomes a focus for developers in the region to come and imbibe the product in their homes. I think telecom operators is the next stage of development, so we're talking to all the major telcos to make sure that Yasmina, we call her Yasmina. That's
the name is
local name.
Yasmina.
Yes. So Django Yasmina is part of the
YY.
YY.
Django Yasmina, yeah.
Part of the smart homes of people. And I think as we go along, we can see more and more communication. Maybe communication scenarios will emerge also where speakers can talk to each other, to the phone. Maybe that is the next stage of development as well.
I have a question here that Alexa is there, then you have Google's devices there. So how do you see differentiator? I know Arabization and all. Do you see a challenge coming up because of those devices being a little older in the market?
Honestly, I think the USP that we have brought in is that we have developed the language from scratch. So that is something which is big. It's just not a translate.
So the kind of response it's going to do is far greater than Alexa's and all other.
It's like a language, right? When we speak Hindi, we can understand. If somebody is translating from English to Hindi, it will be totally different.
It will be different.
It's the same thing. So when someone is speaking to a speaker, she's able to emote, to understand even
So
the
very
tone of
personalized.
voice, personalized, and understands Arabic to a perfect level. Now coming to the expat population which is here, people would want to have to learn a language like Arabic. It's very important to learn a language, right? So you have a smart speaker in the home which can teach you the language in the comfort of your home.
Wow.
Apart from it, yeah.
And I know you're talking about dialects. When you're getting Egyptian dialect and Arabic dialect and Omani dialect, when you get into dialect, then you actually went to the next level of Arabic content.
Absolutely.
You're not saying Arabic, you're saying Arabic also with different dialects.
Yeah. So you touched upon it earlier, right? It's about localization.
It's about localization.
So the Khaliji accent is very much in
Yes.
in our part of the region. Egyptian dialect is also coming into play, and with all the specific nuances, etc., which are part of the language.
And how do you see future of AI and where are we going in next 5 years? I always say, do you see the computers are going to kill us? They're going to rule the humans?
So this is this is a very interesting point, Dr. Kailash. I think in the Avengers movies you see Jarvis, right?
Jarvis,
so
yes.
I think that is very clear. It's happening. It's already happening, and it's going to happen even more as we speak. I see blockchain, crypto playing a huge part of what's going to happen in the decades to come. I mean, decentralized finance as such, right? If I need to send you funds, why do I need to route it through a central bank and then come back to you, right? Absolutely. I can send it to you directly. As long as it's recorded officially for the government for everything, it should be fine. Yeah. So I can see use cases. I can see tokenization happening in a big way. Tokenization of real estate, tokenization of art. It can be anything. So that will unlock trillions of dollars of liquidity for the markets as well. I believe humanoid robots, that's something which is big and it's happening. It's happening all over the world. And
how much time do you think we will be living with humanoids? Approximately, what's your viewpoint?
In the next couple of years, it should happen.
Couple of years?
A couple of years, yes.
Not 2050s?
No, I've seen, I've privy to certain videos. I've met certain people who are already working very closely in this space. I think that's
3, 4, 5 years maybe.
Undoubtedly. Wonderful. And it's again us as humans how we are able to query and prompt and utilize these technologies, which will really be
So one question I have, that when AI is coming, a lot of work would be done by AI and humanoids. Do you see, do we have a threat of losing jobs, and or how do you see this shift happening? Because people are going to lose job too, for sure. But how the shift is going to happen?
So I think shift has to happen, and anyone who's in today's day and age, if they just open their eyes, they will realize that they need to be a part of it, to embrace it completely, and to understand that basic things will be done by, of course, robots or chatbots or AI, etc. You can see today. I mean, it's so much relevant right now. But if you reskill yourself, I would say upskill yourself, and embrace AI technologies, apps the way they are. I think sky is the limit. I mean, you'll have so many more entrepreneurial ventures which will come up.
So anyone who is ready to learn and adopt AI would still survive, or rather thrive instead of survive, I would say, because a lot of creative mind will open up.
Yes.
Because basic jobs are done by that. So you will do better jobs.
Absolutely. You'll have more time on your hands. You'll have more time to work from remotely. You work from
more freedom for family,
absolutely.
more freedom for
more time,
doing what you want. Yeah. Because your mundane things are being done by the tech.
By the tech.
So as far as you're ready to adopt AI, the future is very secure and
future is bright.
Future
is bright, and it's going to just improve, I would say.
I when I talk to you about AI and the tech, and I always think you should write a book on it. And because you have so much of knowledge about things, about the market, so you should definitely write something on that.
Honestly, Dr. Kailash, I've already started work on something, and
Wow.
I will be very soon. I will be coming out with something specifically on AI.
So entire year's knowledge with your AI expertise, if this comes as a book, I think this will be a wonderful book for people to read and get enlightened how the world is going to shift. So we all will wait for the book for sure.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Yeah. And it was wonderful talking to you. We started your journey from the college till your stint in AI. We wish you a lot of success in all the domains you work, and you believe in God, so I'm wishing you. And I know you're capable, being an expert, being a thought leader. You will definitely get a lot of penetration things for your smart device, Django smart device, and it'll be hopeful. It'll be a very powerful future for you. But thank you very much sharing your knowledge, because someone who heard our discussion, if they make key insights out of it, it will give them foundation to get success in this market.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kailash. Been a pleasure being with you here. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Pleasure.